All right, let's get into it. Hi guys, it's Ashley and welcome to episode 1 of Asking Ashley. This is the first week of me going through the mail that I received and answering any or reacting to any of the advice that you guys are seeking or any of the answers that you guys are reaching out to get. So, disclaimer, I had 4 teeth removed this week. So if my face is looking a little chunky, a little fluffy, please have mercy on me.
Let me pretend I care. Okay, I'm done.
It's a little fresh, a little triggering, and
they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
Yeah, but I just wanted to comment that in 2020, it was very much the year for me of learning many lessons about myself, about self-care and taking better care of myself so that I can produce better work, better content, and a better version of myself in 2021. So unfortunately, part of that was realizing in 2020, my gums are super swollen and I think it's time for my wisdom teeth to come out, and then acting on that in 2021 when given the opportunity, even though it was only a week before. Lessons you learned in 2020, let's apply them in 2021 and just take better care of ourselves. Okay, so the first submission is titled Friends Forever, ? Okay. Dear Ashley, I'm at a crossroads. I have a friend that I've had for years. We would call each other every other day. We supported each other through breakups and stress of finals in college. We were in each other's weddings. Wow. Unfortunately, over time, we, maybe because of distance, are not talking as much as we used to. We don't have much in common. I feel like I'm keeping the relationship just because we've been friends for so long. Am I awful for moving on, or is it time for a best friend breakup? Sincerely, holding on to a decade-old thread. Okay, so there's an undertone in this email that tells me that this decade-old thread has tethered to a point where holding on to it has felt somewhat detrimental to where you are in your life right now. We all have friendships and relationships and attachments to things that are no longer serving us.
Boom, and there we go.
And this is not to say that I don't value relationships that I've held for years. But those relationships that I've held on to, and we've all had many relationships in our lives, whether that's a friendship, whether that's a habit or a hobby, whether that's to a significant other, that we have held on to because they continue to serve us in growth and in positivity.
So that's that.
I can sense that from the words that you're using in this email, that you guys haven't been able to connect for a really long time. And the relationship has frayed, and that's completely normal. That's a part of life. Distance changes us and we grow. There's nothing wrong with growth. In fact, it is 1000% encouraged, because if you're not growing in your life and you remain stagnant, it breeds other terrible things to kind of leech onto you, whether that's complacency, whether that's poor health, whether that is nasty attitude towards others, which really is a reflection of some self-resentment that you're holding on to.
There is something that I gotta tell you.
Have a conversation and see if the advice that they're giving you, or the energy that they're giving you, or the attitude that they're giving you is one that is feeding you for the future. That is also not to say that your friend might also be going through some tough times right now and is unable to attend to the friendship as they previously were able to. So perhaps maybe it's time for you to do some tending if this friend has been so long and so good to you. And some seasons are excellent where you guys are both maintaining, and some seasons are a bit more tough where only one person is maintaining. So, in this entire string of advice, I've gone both ways and kind of explored both sides of the situation. But I'm just gonna suggest that you test this relationship through a conversation and see if you're getting the same energy from this person. But I would say follow your gut, and if this friendship is no longer serving you, don't be afraid to let it go. Thank you for sending in your email, and good luck.
Anyway.
Okay. Hi, Ashley. I hope you can help me, girl.
Me too, sis.
Me too. I have a friend I've known for 8 years. Another story about a long friendship. Okay. We were really tight in college, similar to the last one. But we seem to have fallen apart since our college days. I am a Black woman.
Me too, sis.
Important context. And I have been actively using my social media to share information on systemic injustice. This one has recently been commenting on my posts, not in solidarity, but in opposition. Claiming it is healthy debating when I was not asked to engage in such conversations. I believe if this person did not agree with what I was posting, then they could have asked if we could have a discussion, not just force their opinions down my throat. Mind you, they are white. Okay? This has frustrated me because they're not listening or understanding what I'm saying and are always defending colonizer actions. Woo!
Why? Why?
As if it ain't nothing. I recently just set a boundary for this person to not talk to me about anything racially related. For me, the alignment in understanding our history and Black history is not there, and I'm not a teacher. The need and understanding for this person as an ally is not there, so we have to keep it surface level. My question is, am I holding on to a relationship that no longer serves me due to longevity? Or should I maintain this boundary and see how it transpires? Wow. Wow. This is a really timely dilemma, because I feel like a lot of us in the past couple of years have started to realize where moral standings in our friendships of old and friendships of past are starting to align based on the crazy political tensions that have been going on. Political tension and division that has really been altering the way that we see people in our lives and adding additional tension. Discussing race is a muscle. If you find that whenever the topic comes to race or inequalities related to race, you're getting uncomfortable or you quickly want to change the subject, or you get easily frustrated and you can't continue the conversation, you might have to work that muscle a lot more in order to become strong and proficient and confident in having those conversations, because it's an important part of having friends of multiple cultures and color and maintaining that friendship. So that was just in general. Now, in relation to this email, this is slightly trifling. Sorry to say, it's slightly trifling, because they sought to have this conversation in a public way. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually encourage that sometimes, when the tone is appropriate and the energy is appropriate and not argumentative, but actually something where something can be learned by both parties. And there's going to be awkwardness when it comes to talking about race between Black and white friendships. Doesn't mean you should end the friendship. Does not mean that you should shy away from those conversations either, especially if it's a friendship that you think is worthy to maintain. But like I said, there is some energy in this email that I cannot discount. You feel very strongly about this affront to thine social media. Maintain that boundary. It is so difficult, especially for someone who has never put boundaries in a relationship and a friendship that you've had for a long time, to place that boundary. That boundary is protecting your own energy, your own happiness, and your own sanity. Now that this boundary is up and being maintained, see and observe how that now changes the relationship or the friendship that you have had for all this time. If you find that now that this boundary is in place, the friendship is
hitting different,
waning,
hitting different,
is
hitting different,
inconsistent, is
hitting different,
uncomfortable,
something is afoot, hitting different, hitting different, hitting different, hitting different,
or maybe you should let it go. There is the possibility that the two of you can have a civil conversation, but it seems that you don't want to play the role of the teacher, which is your right, and with placing your boundary, that's completely your right. It seems like there was a bit of time since the two of you were initially friends in college, because by the sound of your email, it seems like college was a while ago, and now you're having these conversations sometime later. So if there has been no in-between maintenance of that friendship since college, and then suddenly the reoccurrence of the friendship is this argumentative conversation on social media instead of a check-in with, hey, long time no chat, how are you doing, are you well, things are tense these days, how are you dealing with it? I must say, these are my feelings about this, and I completely disagree with you, but I also want to check in and make sure you're okay. That's friendship language. If you haven't talked to this person in a while, and the first thing that they've said to you in this period of time is,
I don't agree with what you're posting, and here's why.
It's hard to say.
First dilemma, I sensed a little more wavering. But this dilemma, the energy is not pleased, not serving. And good on you on placing a boundary. But placing boundaries is tough work, especially in relationships that you've had for a long time. So good on you for placing that boundary. I'm proud of you. But again, This kind of makes me feel like a conversation or conversations that you have had with this person have not at all been productive. As you say that they're not listening, and I feel like you're past the point of listening yourself, it seems like, to what they have to say. A lot of times when you are seeking clarity, you have to also, in that conversation, maintain silence to fully understand where the other person is coming from. And in return, that person must also listen to you and maintain silence when you are expressing your point of view. Now, even if you do this and you perform this exercise, you find that you're hearing them and they're hearing you, and there's just zero connection. It's okay to let it go. It's okay to let it go. I wasn't even setting out to have a theme for this week, but the theme seems to be longevity of friendships and things that are not serving you, and boundaries. Even if you've had a long relationship with someone, they can't read your mind. Sometimes things are tone deaf and people can't see the things that they're doing. Thank you for sending in your submissions. This was week 1, episode 1 of Asking Ashley. And make sure you take care and take care of each other. All right, bye. So, a lot of you reached out to me and you want to know what the recipe is for expert advice. Well, you came to the right place because I got it. Now, I'm not The Rock, and I'm definitely not Heisenberg. But let's get cooking. Yes, this is she. May I ask who is this? Right. You want to know if it's ready? Oh, it's ready. But are you ready for it? That's what I thought. Bye.